Greetings and welcome to another episode of JFT Talks. I'm Joshua A. Strong, the Executive Vice President of the Jackson Federation of Teachers, and today we're talking about your leave, specifically sick and personal leave, which here I've called PTO, paid time off. And let's jump right on in. First things first, again, I'm the Executive Vice President of the local, and you can find me at executivevp@jftpsrp.com, or you can call the office or the hotline number. All right. Basically, this is what we're covering today. We will have some sections on understanding your leave, basic guidelines for approval, documenting conversations, notice requirements for leave, do's and don'ts regarding your leave, and advanced leave, specifically FMLA, and support. And I have a minimal amount of information on the slides, and then I'm going to expound upon some of those as we go along. So, jumping into understanding your leave, both sick and personal. It sort of goes without saying, but sick leave is intended for your own illness, medical appointments, or recovery time. And personal leave is for conducting personal business. Um, and very quickly, just to talk about how that leave is accrued. Um, you're going to pick up your leave based on the district's going to give you a certain amount of sick leave per year and a certain number of personal leave days per year. Generally speaking, it's 5 personal leave days, and then sick sort of depends on the district you're in. Um, and so you always want to look at your district's board policies about sick leave, so that you know exactly what your school district says. For example, and I don't know where that went. So hold on. There it is. All apologies. All right. All right. So for example, let's take a look at JPS. So here we go. You can see from this chart, most teachers are going to be, well, teachers generally are in that 187 to 205 group. Some people may be on longer contracts, but you'll notice that you begin with 10 sick leave days and 2 personal days. Okay, you get two. That's interesting. Um, and so that's going to give you a total of 12 days combining your sick and your personal up to 3 years. And then after that, you'll notice that the personal days go up and the sick leave goes down. And then it keeps on going so that those people who've been in the district for more than 15 years are only getting about 5.5 sick days per year and 6.5 personal days per year. Again, with the understanding that the longer you've been there, you should have some sick leave built up. All right. And we're going to talk a little bit more under like do's and don'ts and things regarding the use of your sick leave. In JPS, Jackson Public Schools requires a doctor's statement if an absence extends to 4 or more days. Now, I took a minute to look at the policy, and I know that it says um, school days. So that does not specifically count a weekend unless there's a holiday involved. Now, that is spelled out. If you work in Hinds County, the weekends are counted based on the last time I looked at the leave policy there, and when I was working in Hinds County, that if you're sick on Friday and Monday, the idea is that you were sick for 4 days and they want a doctor's statement. Um, in JPS, it's 4 or more days unless there's a holiday. So if there's a holiday, for example, Labor Day weekend, and you miss Thursday and Friday before Labor Day, and then you're off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and come back on Tuesday, you're going to need to bring a doctor's statement to cover those absences. Um, and you're going to see this somewhere else, but just as long as you make sure that you are following the rules, it's going to make life a whole lot easier for you. Okay. Also, and then you're going to see this towards the end, that 4 days worth of being sick is also going to trigger, like some contacting risk management about FMLA, which again, I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Also, please know that you cannot take a day before or after a holiday or the first or last day of a school term as personal leave. And if it's sick leave, you're going to have to provide a doctor's statement. And that has to do with the way that state law is written. And as a reminder, the minimum leave amount is half a day. I know there was a brief period in time in Hinds County School District where they allowed a quarter day, and I was one of the handful of people who got to take one. And then they came back and said, yeah, we can't do that no more. I don't know if it was a problem, but still. Please note that there are some exceptions about the before and after, taking before and after when it comes to things like military activation or service and things like jury duty, etc. And it doesn't mean that you can't take those days. You can't take personal days. So days for like jury duty are not coded the same way as personal leave or sick leave. So keep those things in mind. Some basic guidelines to help you make sure that your leave is approved. So here we go. First things first, always submit your requests at least 24 hours in advance. And we're going to look at a chart in a little bit to help you when it comes to how much leave you need versus how much time you should give in requesting that. Except in genuine emergencies. I mean, if you wake up in the middle of the night with a fever, it's obvious that you can't do 24 hours in advance. So you want to do that on a case by case basis. But generally speaking, if you have a doctor's appointment that's at 10 o'clock in the morning and if it's like my doctor's most of the time, it turns out that you know those well in advance. So all you have to do is go ahead and put that leave in. Check for blackout dates or busy periods when leave is likely to be denied. Let's just address the elephant in the room. There are certain times of the year that you can't take off. And there are certain events that are people tend to take off for. I can remember way back working in Jackson a long time ago, so we're talking early 2000s. We were told in a staff meeting very specifically, you cannot take off the days of the Canton Flea Market or Mistletoe Marketplace or whatever, because those were dates that there were a bunch of people who they were vendors and they wanted to go and sell. Um, and a lot of people were trying to ask off. And so the boss officially called those blackout dates. Now, your principal may or may not use that terminology, but we know that there are certain dates that are blackout periods. For example, right before or after a holiday, unless you have a doctor's appointment and plan on getting a note. Um, also, if it's personal leave before or after a holiday, well, not before or after a holiday, at the beginning or the end of the term, that's by state statute. Um, Certain busy periods like state testing, leave is likely to be denied during state testing because they need people there to help with state testing and other things like that. Use good judgment. That's the best way to put it. Use good judgment. Be very specific about your requested dates. Give dates. Give, I need to be out this day and this day. I will be back on this day. And provide a brief professional reason for contacts. That does not mean you need to tell them everything. What it means is that you should give a basic reason. When we talk about FMLA and FMLA training, we talk about using specific language to help the boss to understand that this is related to FMLA approved leave without necessarily giving too much information. I have a doctor's appointment. It's as simple as that. Or look, you text your boss or call your boss at 5:30 in the morning. I woke up with a fever. and I am miserable and I need to stay home today in order to try to recover. And sometime before tomorrow, I will let you know if I will be able to come in the next day. So if it's a Monday and I do that, I need to call Monday night following up to say, hey, I feel better. I think I can come in tomorrow, or I do not feel better. I will not be here tomorrow. Um, I don't want this to sound condescending, but remember that they can't read your mind, your bosses. And so you have to be sure that you are spelling out for them everything. And you can't just do a blanket thing. They need to know very specifically how many days to be out because it's easier to order a sub for multiple days sometimes than it is to just kind of, especially last minute. It is hard to get a sub at 8:30 in the morning for that day. And your boss is definitely going to appreciate that you've taken the time to let him or her know ahead of time. Demonstrate preparedness by coordinating with colleagues and having a plan. Do a little legwork, more or less. And what you want to do is, hey, I know that I have a meeting coming up with a team meeting, and I'm getting so and so to take notes for me. I've turned over some information. Maybe it's a data meeting. Here's my data that is ready so that people can look at my data even though I won't be there. Make sure your sub plans are already together. You can check out other JFT Talks episodes about using AI to help you with emergency sub plans, and there are a host of AI tools that can help you with that. But do what you can to have a plan. And I understand that when you are violently ill, the last thing that you want to do is do sub plans. But that is also why having an emergency sub folder um, can help you tremendously. And you know what? That needs to be a special episode as well, because I've got some things that can help with that. Anyway, you can plan ahead. Finally, ask for permission instead of prepare the others. Um, Now, I was talking with people in the office about this yesterday. I never really did ask for permission specifically. I would always go in and tell my boss, I'm not going to be able to be in that day. I have a doctor's appointment, or sometimes I would just say, I'm going to have to be out. But I also never asked off. Taking 4 days for me was like, out of a whole year, was like a banner year of leave requests. And I was able to do that, but it was also based on that relationship. If you're new, you probably haven't had time to create that relationship yet. If you're out a lot for illness, and this is nothing against you for that, some people get sick more easily than others. But the more often you're out, the harder it is sometimes to get leave approved. So we want to approach in the right way. Now, I will say that when I walked in to tell my boss I'm going to be out, I would tell him I haven't put it in yet. I just want to make sure that there's no problem with it. And again, my boss hardly ever denied that from me, but I hardly ever asked. But I always gave him the option to say no. So I wasn't exactly, may I have this day off, specifically asking for permission, but I gave my boss the option to say, yeah, you can't do that. And not so that it sounded like I'm telling you and you can't stop me because you don't want that. You don't want that to be misinterpreted as a bad attitude. So ask for permission. And we're going to talk about documentation in a minute. If you talk to your boss, always send an email, and I'm going to repeat that in just a minute. There we go, documenting conversations. I have a rule around here, not a rule, a mantra, whatever you want to call it. If it ain't on paper, it didn't happen. But that is very true. If it's not on paper, there is no record that it existed, and you need to make sure that you have everything documented for your own safety in case problems arise, or rather for your own protection if problems arise. That's probably better phrasing. First things first, always request in writing to create an official paper trail. Now, go talk to your boss one on one. That's what I always did. I would catch him usually first thing in the morning. Sometimes it was the middle of the day to tell him, by the way, I'm going to have to take a day off. This is the day that I plan to be out. I have not put it in the system because in Hinds County, we had to put it into a computer program to request it, and then he would have to approve it. But I would have that verbal, I would have that verbal conversation. And then, generally speaking, I would follow up with an email to say, hey, just a reminder that we asked for this off. I asked for this off, and you said go ahead and put it in. Boom. Now, I didn't say you agreed to it, but if the boss told me to go ahead and put it in, it's starting to put together some things. Now, if you fill out forms, always make photocopies of the form, or what I would just do is I would just get two forms and print both of them out. Um, I believe at one point we had duplicate forms so that we had one and they would keep one. And I would just make a copy because I always wanted a copy just in case. And if it's in the computer system, you can take screenshots or just print things, print the page so that you have it. For all your verbal discussions, follow up with a recap email. Just a quick email to say, Mr. Jones, this is just to recap the conversation that we had this morning regarding me requesting Monday, December the 17th as a half day sick day. Maybe not sick. We'll say personal. I have personal day because of some business that I have to handle. And you told me to go ahead and put the request in and that um, you would look at it for approval. I don't want to, unless he said approve. If the boss go ahead and said, yes, I will approve it, document that, and then always follow that up with, please let me know if there's anything here that's incorrect, because you're giving them the option to, or the opportunity to correct you if you misunderstood. And also, if it comes up later that there was a problem, you have documentation to say, I sent you an email. This is what I understood, and I asked you to correct me if I was incorrect, but you didn't. Another thing is to forward all communication to an account that you control. You do not control your work email because your school district will lock you out before they fire you. You want a personal email address that is specifically for work. However you choose to do that, come up with one. And forward all your emails there. Also, make sure to save copies of forms and paperwork, and don't keep it necessarily in the building. Take it home with you. Put it in a bag that you take back and forth or something, but you want to be sure that you have your documentation where you need it in case something happens and things get crazy, because that can sometimes happen. This is a really important, this next bullet, although they're not bulleted. Never assume approval until you have written confirmation. Don't just assume until you have seen for a fact. And if we're documenting things, if you ask for something several days in advance and you don't hear back after a day or two, send an email. It's really simple. Send an email to the person that you had to turn this into. If you turn it into like someone in the office who is not the principal, um, do that and then carbon copy the principal as well, simply because the principal is the one that has to approve the leave, not the secretary or records clerk or whoever is taking in the paperwork. And just say, hey, 2 days ago, I turned in a paper to request a day, and I haven't heard whether or not it is confirmed, approved, and I just want to follow up and see you are documenting things along the way as well. Not just that, you're saying, I don't know that this is approved, but you're putting it in writing so that if there is an issue later on, you have documentation to support that you were trying to follow the rules. If your leave is denied, take a minute, take a breath, If you need to write something down and then tear it up and destroy it, getting your frustrations out on paper, be sure to destroy it. Um, just to take a minute, you don't want to let your emotions affect your professional demeanor. So what you want to do is ask for a meeting. Just ask for a meeting. Um, put it in writing. That's really, put it in writing and say, "Hey, Mr. Jones, please, I would like some time to talk to you about the denial of my requested leave." You don't have to say anything else beyond that. And then go in and just ask. Now, I have to warn you, you may not like what you hear, but that's okay too. If they denied it, they should be able to give you a reason. And then once you're done, take your notes. And once you're done, do a recap email so that you can say. And your recap email is just recapping what happened and what you understood. It's not how you felt or anything like that. It's just factually uh, recording what happened and your understanding of what happened so that you have that again as documentation. Because let's say that this all becomes a part of a bigger pattern, you want all that documentation. All right, document that feedback again and always in writing. Always, always, always put things in writing. All right, moving along. Notice requirements for blocks of leave. Now, I did some digging and I asked a few people, and the best that I can come up with is that there is no real set policy for when you need to ask off for leave in the Jackson Public Schools. It's generally handled on a school by school basis, and each school is going to be maybe slightly different about things. Personal leave, that's the only place I'm not 100% sure. Usually they usually want a certain amount of time ahead in order for you to be able to take that personal leave. But let's look at this. This is a general guide. Again, it is a general guide, but it is going to help you to be able to take off leave and get it approved. All right. So I've already covered that JPS does not have a universal notice requirements policy. So these are going to help you. Now there is a place with FMLA, so just bear with me. Single day off. If you need to take a single day off because you know ahead in advance, you need to turn that request in at least 3 to 5 business days ahead of time. And let's use some common sense. If you know it's a day that people like to take off, you should be turning it in a little bit earlier than that. Let's say, for example, you want to take a personal day to go to your child is at Jackson State, your child is going to have something to do with homecoming, and there's one of those days, the week of homecoming, that you need to be out because you want to go support your child. You need to be turning that in much earlier than 3 to 5 business days because there are probably other people who are going to want to ask it off. And if you ask first, you're more likely to get your leave approved than if you are the seventh or eighth person to ask. Does that make sense? If you need a long weekend, you're moving or you're for whatever reason, so we're talking 2 to 3 days, more than just a single day off. You're talking taking Monday and Tuesday off so that you have a 4 day weekend, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday so that you would have a 5 day weekend. You need to give at least 2 weeks notice. You really need to give at least 2 weeks notice. Also, you want to keep in mind sick versus personal um, leave when you're thinking of that as well. If you're taking a week or longer, you need to give 3 to 4 weeks or more. Now, with this, although it's not starred, if you need that much time off, that's going to be FMLA, and that requires a 30-day notice for foreseeable uh, medical or family care related leave. And again, the union has a whole separate training on how that works, and we can help you to understand it better. Emergency sick leave. You need to notify your supervisor immediately via phone or message, and then again, follow it up with an email. And try to be reasonable. Um, Sending a text message at 1 o'clock in the morning does not mean that you should just assume that it's approved and everything else. Okay. But as soon as you know that, like, you don't feel well and you need to leave, then you notify your supervisor. All right. Again, FMLA leave does have notice requirements. Again, that's a 30-day for foreseeable leave. And we have a training that will help you to understand how FMLA works. Now, do not abuse or overuse your sick leave. People get sick. I hate to use the word sickly, but there are some people who just never seem to be sick. And there are some people who, a kid across the cafeteria can cough and that person will get sick. It happens. Use your sick leave wisely, but be careful of overusing it because it can look like abuse, and absolutely do not abuse your sick leave. If you are sick, take a day or 2 days if it needs to be 2 days and stay home. If you're sick, you should not be going anywhere to go shopping unless it is directly to the pharmacy to pick up medications and things that you need, or perhaps to the grocery store to grab chicken soup or something. It should be reasonable. You should not be at the mall in a store picking out brand new outfits. We all need a mental health day. Heaven knows I took a few in my years of teaching. If you take a mental health day, that's fine. What you don't want to do is be out and about where people can see you. And if your mental health day, given that Jackson is not very far from the water, includes you driving to Biloxi or Gulfport or even as far away as Gulf Shores, Alabama, for a few hours on the beach, that's wonderful for your mental health. Do not be posting pictures of that on social media. It can get back to your supervisors and it looks like abuse of your sick leave. And in JPS policy, it does say that abuse of your sick leave can prevent you from accruing future sick leave. Whether or not they've actually ever done that to anybody is not important. The fact is, they have it in their policy, so they can do it to you, and there's not much you can do about it. All of this to say, be smart about your leave. Try not to use it too much. Use it when you do need it, but try not to use it too much. Also, when you use it, be smart about what you're doing. If you need that mental health day, that mental health day needs to be in a real low key kind of way so that people don't know that that's what it was for. Especially if you're doing something like going to the beach, or maybe I like to go to Birmingham and go hiking in some of the nature preserves and state parks that are there. That's wonderful as well for mental health, but everybody doesn't have to know that. Keep these things in mind. All right, a couple of time off do's and don'ts. And some of this may be slightly repetitive, but here we go. Do's and don'ts. Update any shared calendars. If you are a person who needs to set up out of office notices, go ahead and make sure that you do that once your leave is approved. Do leave clear instructions for anyone who will be covering your classroom and or your duties. As a teacher, I tend to think in teacher terms, but for those people who work in the cafeteria, for those people who are our custodial workers, for those people who in Jackson Public Schools are our plumbers and carpenters, make sure you leave clear instructions for anybody who will be covering your duties. Please do not use sick days for personal time. Again, I just talked about personal days. I mean, mental health days, and be wise about how you do that. Don't wait till the last minute to request leave. That's a good way to be told no. Um, don't make non-refundable travel plans before receiving written approval for leave. I can't stress that enough. The leave needs to be approved before you do anything else. Again, do not make non-refundable travel plans before receiving written approval for leave. All right. Finally, advanced leave. Specifically, this is FMLA and support. So the Family and Medical Leave Act provides up to 12 weeks of unpaid but job protected leave for serious healthcare conditions or for family care for someone who has a serious health condition. Or it can relate to the birth of a baby or the adoption of a child. There's even some stuff for military, caring for military people, etc. Please know there are specific thresholds in order to qualify for this type of leave. A 30 days notice is required for foreseeable leave, and I have left off an apostrophe, so I have to fix that. Specific union training is available to help you with FMLA. It is called JFT Training, Understanding and Navigating FMLA. And we're working on splitting out a separate one for military exigency and care. And finally, if you're going to take FMLA leave, it is a lot more work than you think it is. Please contact the union at the very beginning so that we can be there with you from the start and we can help you get through that process with the least amount of problems. Follow the rules to avoid problems and use these guidelines to minimize issues when you're requesting leave. Very quickly, just to give you a couple of my resources that I pulled some of this information from. You'll notice that one of those is the Employee Handbook in Jackson Public Schools, and a couple of other credits because this slide design is not my own. If you would like to view more sessions like this, please visit our website. If you're a non-member, look under resources for JFT Talks, and you can find our public list, which is a sampling of the JFT Talks episodes that we have. Members would sign in and then look under members only and general membership on our website to find the full JFT Talks playlist. Thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm Joshua A. Strong, Executive Vice President of the Jackson Federation of Teachers. You have a wonderful, wonderful day.